Duds Talk Live, brought to you by Fit Aid Energy with Dalton Johnson. I'm Kerith Burke. The homestand is over. The Warriors were perfect. 5-0 on this homestand. Now that means they're 5th in the Western Conference. And Dalton, the Warriors have had a 5-game win streak before this season, but we've been trying to articulate, before we came on the show, why this feels different. Go.
All right, here we go. Here's my best explanation. Is even though in that other 5-game homestand they did not have Steph Curry, didn't have Andrew Wiggins, but I think that the collective energy of this whole team feels a little bit different right now, right? I think Jordan Poole, even when he's not shooting great, is playing smart. You look at the assists, you look at him getting to the free throw line, things like that. You talk about the collection of guys who've stepped up. Jonathan Kuminga, JaMychal Green tonight, who has been out of the rotation, steps up big tonight. So it's a collection of guys where, and even tonight, the first time when they started to lose that lead a little bit in the fourth quarter, this was the first time in a long time where I didn't go, okay, they're going to blow this one, or
sure.
Right, like the confidence was there the whole time. Even with that slow start, we're like, all right, the third quarter Warriors have been doing this, but it was the fourth quarter that really stood out to me where I never really worried about it. And it wasn't about the other team that were, okay, well, they're more talented. It was the fact that the Warriors have been showing this different kind of grit that made me confident these full 4 quarters.
Yeah, on the press row, I don't think any of the reporters had those scaries where their story was written and you have to control, alt, delete. And that's what we're trying to figure out. Like, even the Warriors are talking about how they're gelling right now, which is an interesting comment for a defending champion who's had so much success over the years. So that, we heard of these gel comments at around 20 games. Listen, there's 19 games left. If they're gelling now, fine. Okay, as long as they're gelling now in this home stretch of the season as they start thinking about the playoffs. So they were down 17 to the Pelicans. They were down 12 to the Clippers. They were down 23 to the Blazers. They were down 14 to the Wolves. No need for control, alt, delete, but yeah, it feels a little different. I don't know if these comebacks would have been possible earlier in the season.
I completely agree, and I will say one thing. Look at the energy of the bench. I mean, whether it's Steph Curry, Gary Payton II, Lester Quinones, who was here for his first game, everyone was up, and that's been pretty consistent lately. When there was times when that lacked a little bit earlier in the season and it was kind of up and down throughout the season, it's not like that anymore. And I wouldn't say, I would just say that the vibe feels very, very good right now. Whether it's with the fans, whether it's on the bench, everything, there's a different sense right now to this team. And I'm sure, again, winning cures everything, of course. Being able to say, hey, we're out of the play-in for now in the standings sure helps for sure, right? Where you're not trying to swim upstream in this weird 9, 10, 11 range. 5th, that makes a big, big difference right now.
All right, the vibes are good, and the fans are reacting to this. Let's take a look at how fans reacted on social media, because the Warriors now 34-30. Again, 5 straight wins, 5th in the West. Warriors Twitter coming at you. Finally, everybody is saying. It was nice to interact with people tonight. Ooh, we've got a let's get that ring for a 5th ring right there. Championship DNA is back, and I think what fans are seeing especially is that Warriors come back in the third quarter. That punch that they used to have. Maybe I don't want to use the word punch. I try not to use that this season. No, but just the burst. Let's use the burst in the third quarter that's helping to prompt these wins.
Oh my God, the third quarter has been amazing lately, right? And that's something that we've been searching for. It's been wild to think that throughout the season, they've actually been outscored more often than not in the third quarter before these last 3 games. And then also in the last 3 games, they just turned it on. You see the defensive intensity. You see smart shot selection, as well as still some heat check 3-pointers. But again, the ball's moving. It's not this individual play that we're seeing in the third quarter by any means. And that's been something that's been an issue in the fourth quarter, especially earlier in the season, was that they went away from Warriors basketball, down the stretch. We haven't seen that lately. The second half has been Warriors basketball to a T over their kind of dynasty seasons, right? So that's, again, where we talk about the difference of this kind of 5-game, win streak right now. It's that, too, is that the little pieces of Warriors basketball are being front and center again without the biggest piece to Warriors basketball in Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, who will very likely play on Sunday. So likely the possibility is good that Dalton Johnson is going to be there for that game. All right, hey, Jonathan Kuminga off the bench, continuing his personal momentum. So versus the Clippers, 19 points on 7 of 12. Tonight, 19 points on 9 of 13. Good shot selection, attacking the rim. Let's hear from Jonathan Kuminga assessing his games lately.
Jonathan, what's been clicking for you over these last couple of games, in your opinion?
Just growing every single day. Just being around more. Man, it's just a process, you know. I'm not saying I'm where I'm supposed to be at, but it's just a process and just growing.
Do you feel the trust that Kerr is putting in you? He has been playing you longer stretches. I understand that the bench is a little bit shorter with Steph's injury and Wiggins being out, but some big-time opportunities this past week, and you've made the most of them.
Just the work I put in every single day. I trust my work. When I come out here, I just keep doing what I got to do, knowing everything I need to do on the floor, being lucky most of the time. I think that's pretty much it.
Steve says he feels this team has turned a corner during this 5-game homestand. How do you take the momentum that you've built here and bring it on the road with you guys now?
I mean, I'll say it's just our chemistry. We had a lot of downfall. And it wasn't the end of the word. I mean, we knew it was going to just bring it up at some point. And I feel like we're in a great path. And I feel like we're just going to keep doing it even on the road.
Can you take us through your matchup with Brandon Ingram tonight?
I mean, I'm always locked in because any team that comes in town, I already know I'm a guard already. I'm just going to guard the best players on the floor. And that just give me more time to go out there and watch films on what they like to do, what they like to get into. And obviously, Andre been in the league for a minute, just asking what this guy likes to do. I mean, just learning from every coaches and watching films a lot.
Before the All-Star break, Draymond said that there wasn't like a collective will to defend. But these last, 5 games, you guys have really stepped up with the energy on the defensive end. What has just kind of spurred that?
I mean, I feel like it's always been there. It just, like I said, it was just a matter of time. It was just us trying to build that chemistry together. Because a lot of people been in and out. A lot of people haven't been playing with each other. And like I said, it's coming back around. And hopefully we keep doing the same thing.
How much pride do you take in just being able to help on that end?
I mean, like I said, I always trust myself, and I love doing it. It's just something that happened, so I take so much pride about it.
Jonathan, last night you were matched up on Kawhi. Steve Kerr's talked, kind of compared you guys. Have you had a chance to talk to him at all? Has he given you any advice? Have you guys had any interactions at all?
To who?
Kawhi Leonard.
He don't really talk.
So like he didn't give you like good luck or anything like that?
I think the only first time I ever heard him talk, it was yesterday. I dabbed him and it was like, keep working, boy, and stay healthy. That was my first time, and that was my second time playing against him. So.
Yeah. Is he kind of a player that you would like to have a two-way impact? Win championships. Is that kind of a guy you want to model yourself after?
I don't know. He's a great player, but I don't look myself to model my game to anybody. I want to be unique. I want to be the only Jonathan. So I'll definitely watch some about him, but I'm not trying to model my game to his game.
Jonathan, what did you try to do tonight with a guy like Ingram, the kind of scorer he is? What is it you try to do to contain him?
There's just so many dudes in this league. I mean, I haven't been in this league for too long. I've just been around playing against the greatest player in this league. A lot of people just don't like people being physical against them. And I feel like once I do that, I just try to get in your head. I take more advantage. On some game physical with you, a lot of people don't like that. And I feel like that's all we had to come out here and do it today. It wasn't just me. It was pretty much everybody. It started with Clay because Clay started on him. Just being physical with him from the beginning. And I came in the game and I kept doing the same thing. and I feel like we shut him down. We took his rhythm away.
How do you feel that your defense has helped you guys spark your offense and your rebounding as well, as like you out rebounded them by around 14 today?
I mean, as a young guy coming in the league, you could be as good as you want, and especially on teams like the Warriors. As long as you don't establish one thing, you will never see the floor. So just me coming out here trying to establish the defensive, trying to establish my defense, and that's what kind of bring me on the floor. And the work that I put behind the scene that people don't see is still going to translate, but it's definitely defense. And like, I'm going to go back to you. You said something about marrying my game to Kawhi. If you watch his first couple years, he was good, but he was playing with certain people that you don't need to score. All you got to do is just go out there, play defense, and look at it today. He's one of the best players in the league. So just trying to define myself as a defender at a very young age in the league. Obviously, hopefully one day I get to turn my game to be the main guy, but I got to define myself as one of the best players.
Great, thank you.
All right, some encouraging things there from Jonathan Kuminga, especially on defense. He's talking about knowing his personnel. He's talking about watching film. He wants to get better in that regard. And if we know one thing about a Steve Kerr team, he will give you minutes if you play defense.
No, he sure will. And the last part of that answer is really what stood out to me most, because of course you like to hear that Jonathan Kuminga, wants to be himself. He wants to be the first Jonathan Kuminga. I don't want to be the next Kawhi Leonard. But what I really liked was the way he talked about Kawhi's career trajectory. Because, think about some of those Spurs teams that Kawhi was on at the start. He didn't need to be the main guy. He's playing with Hall of Famers, as Jonathan Kuminga is with the Warriors, with one of the most winning franchises ever in the NBA, as Jonathan Kuminga is, right? So as he continues to understand his role, and that he can, dominate and own that role, and then his game can expand, we're only going to see the consistency more and more. And that's what stood out to me lately, is that it's not a one-game sample size anymore with Jonathan Kuminga. It's not just the crazy dunks anymore.
Sure.
Over this homestand, he averaged 14.8 points, 5.2 rebounds. He shot just under 60%. He was a combined plus 45 and plus minus in these 5 games. So it's not just the highlights anymore. It's the little things that pertain to winning. He's impacting all of that right now.
I was looking at a shot chart tonight too, and when you talk about good decisions, I want to go back to maybe his offense now. He's going inside the paint. He's attacking the rim, which has been the message for him all season. Just keep it simple. We know you're this freak athlete. Attack the rim. So he had 13 shots tonight. 11 of them were inside the paint, and he went 9 of 13. I actually want to show you some of these highlights. We put some of these together because JK played an important role in the Warriors' comeback tonight. Let's go to the second quarter. I believe, here it is. Okay, this is JK saying, I'm going to take on Brandon Ingram. How about a little spin move, put my shoulder into him? There's nothing B.I. can do right there. He's straight up, but nothing was going to stop JK. And then here's JK on defense. Brandon Ingram trying to show him a few things. No, I don't think so. Offensive foul. This was a fun one. This is where the freak athlete comes out. Massive dunk right there. Look at Steph on the bench. She's got him galloping. But these are the plays that teammates want to see, and I love that smile right there too, because you're getting glimpses, maybe even more than glimpses now, strings of games where you can see the kind of player Jonathan Kuminga is meant to be.
Strings of games is a great way to say it. Yeah,
it's my band name.
No, it is, right? Because again, it's not one game, it's not one good game.
Yeah.
2, what's going on here? It's
sure.
Good. It's like the dominoes are really starting to fall down for him in the right ways, and it's just fun to see. There is no silver lining to Andrew Wiggins' situation right now. I will say, Jonathan Kuminga, he's getting more and more of an opportunity, and you build that confidence now for a 20-year-old that can lead into the playoffs, because he did play minutes last year in the playoffs, but his role obviously has increased now, so it's getting better and better.
Was that Rex Chapman responding to something? Yeah, there
Jonathan
you go.
Kuminga is
That's
getting
right.
the attention of some big names right now. Again,
Yeah.
he's not just this role player, this highlight player anymore. You need to know who Jonathan Kuminga is, and I'm sure that opposing teams have to have him high on their scouting report by now.
He is on the game plan. There you go. All right, let's hear from Steve Kerr kind of buttoning up the kind of night JK had on offense and defense.
Well, this was one of his best games. So was last night. I mean, he's making some strides. Offensively, I liked that he was going to the rim and cutting and finding his way there. I thought the play of the game was Dante's offensive board, and then J.K. cut behind the play and got the dunk. But, the more he can attack and use his athleticism offensively, the better, and I think he's doing that. And then defensively, he's by far our best option on Ingram, and I thought he had a great game defensively, and so it was fun to watch him play tonight. It's fun to see his development continue.
Pretty cool to develop a lot of time in our show to a spark off the bench. Way to go, Jonathan Kuminga. When we come back on Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by FitAid, why don't we talk about the game's leading scorer? How about that? Let's talk about Klay Thompson. We'll get to Jordan Poole as well. And, of course, take a look at the upcoming schedule. We'll be right back.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by FitAid Clean Energy and Sports Recovery, the energy drink for athletes. FitAid Energy is naturally sweetened with only 15 calories, no sucralose, no aspartame, and no compromises.
Hey everybody, we are back on YouTube. Ian says hello, joining the show from the UK. I see Daniel, I see Otis, I see D, NorCal Zone says. I love that Dante can barely take a shot all night, but when he does hit one, it is so timely. That's right, his first bucket was that huge three-pointer in the fourth quarter. We have Baby Babe asking any news on Wiggins. No. All right, at this time, there are two things that the Warriors have said, and they're limited, that he's out for personal reasons, and then Steve Kerr added that it's a family matter. That's all we know. And I know it's frustrating. I know you guys want to know more. I know we want to know more, but it's a personal reason, so that comes with a degree of privacy. So that's all we know at this time. What other comments do we have in here? Defense has been super fantastic. Yeah, that's why they're able to have these third quarter domination, because the offense is connected to the defense. So obviously, when you can hold an opponent to 16 points or 17 points and you're racing the other way, no set defense, you can score 40. There you go. There's a cause and effect here to basketball. It's pretty easy.
No, their transition defense is leading to transition buckets, right? You're seeing those fast break buckets. You're seeing Jordan Poole be able to use his speed, Draymond Green be able to push the pace. So because they're not always having to get set and sending teams to the free throw line over and over and over again, again, the defense is leading to the offense. And I think when they can see this, and when someone like Jordan Poole can see that too, it makes you a little more excited for defense too, right? When it's, okay, our offense is feeding off of this, why not keep ramping this up on the defensive side?
Yeah, there you go. Make it easier for yourself. Hey everybody, welcome back to Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by FitAid. All right, I promised a conversation about the leading scorer in this game for the Warriors. That was Klay Thompson, 27 points, had a collection of big threes. But what's interesting for Klay is that he's playing in a second game of a back-to-back. He's done that a couple times this season now, and it just really says that he's feeling good. His legs are underneath him, and I think we're seeing a really patient and confident Klay Thompson.
Patience and confidence, those are two key words that you said right there. I would say coming out of the All-Star break, we're seeing an evolved Klay Thompson, kind of like this next step of Klay Thompson. Smart decisions, getting rebounds, timely shots, not forcing things. I think we're seeing more and more of two-way Klay. 10 for 17, 4 for 9, that says a lot to me. Again, it's not forced at all. His shot just seems, his legs are under him, so smooth. You know, getting to the hole right here is what I love to see from Klay Thompson. We know what he can do from three-point range, right?
Yes.
Obviously. But again, he was so good in January as far as averaging 27 points, a career high for a month. He was even better in February as far as his complete overall game,
That's wild.
he was even better. Like,
Yeah.
I think he averaged 25.5 points in February,
Yep.
but his complete game, it was like, okay, this is Klay Thompson right
Sure.
now, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's looking like all-star Klay right now. And I love the fact that he doesn't want to compare himself to the past Klay anymore.
Right.
He wants to be this Klay, and this Klay is still pretty dang good.
This Klay is pretty good. And I
Yeah.
like listening to him post-game when he talks about just how good inside of himself that he feels. He knows he can't be his old self because he's been through too much heartache and hardship. You know, he has to come out the other side as a new person, and we're seeing that evolution of Klay Thompson. It's pretty awesome that he had a new career high in rebounds during this road trip with 11. All right, let's also spotlight a few other guys. Michael Green, they needed his burst in the second quarter to start clawing out of that hole. Mike finishing with 14 points in 15 minutes. But there was a second quarter burst where he had a dunk, a three-pointer, 2 rebounds in 59 seconds. So when you see a role player like this coming through, what do you think about what the Warriors are getting from their role players, their bench?
It's the fact that you can feed off of that, right? I mean, that should spark you. If you are a bench player or anything, or even if you're a starter, like
Sure.
that brings you up for sure. I mean, the fact is, Michael Green basically played around 9 minutes the previous 2 games combined.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he basically played that in the first half tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
know, I mean, it was dunks, it was blocks, hit his three-pointer. So the fact that he is this kind of veteran big man for the Warriors who can do the little things that they've searched for all season and be ready after, I mean, pretty much being left behind in the rotation the last 2 games, especially down the stretch in the second half. Really impressive from JaMychal Green. It goes to show, like, again, why they really, really like who JaMychal Green is as a player and a person.
Yeah.
And this was an impressive game to me. Very impressive.
He had that block/swat that made the crowd erupt. It
Yeah.
was incredible. All right, I also want to make sure we take a moment to talk about Jordan Poole, who's played every game this season right alongside Iron Man Loon. When you look at his 3 of 13, 0 for 5, that's tough. That's a tough night shooting. But he had 7 assists, he's plus 11, and you notice something else for Jordan Poole.
Yeah, it's the free throws. It's back-to-back games of 12 free throws. That opens up Jordan Poole's game. It opens up the whole Warriors offense. Jordan Poole became the first Warriors guard to have back-to-back games with at least 12 free throw attempts since Monte Ellis.
Hey, nice
It's been a
nugget
long
there.
time. It
Yeah.
truly has. But again, you see it, 3 for 13, 0 for 5, and positive impact on winning.
Yep.
That matters with Jordan Poole. Again, I know his three-point shot has not been what we expected, anything like that. But look, this was the free throw champion last year.
Yeah.
Keep getting to the line. He's making the game easier on him. You see him with racking up assists lately. You know, so again, I think that's so key for him and the rest of the Warriors. You know, I asked Klay Thompson about it the previous game, and he said it does not just help Jordan, it opens the rest of the game up for us because now the defense has to collapse, and now we can kick it out instead of settling first for three-pointers.
This is one of those games where I do like an individual stat line, but then the plus-minus does kind of tell a story. You could personally have an off night, but still impact winning for your teammates. That's what Jordan Poole did tonight. All right, when we come back, all of these good vibes for the Warriors have to go on the road. We're going to talk about that road record. We're going to talk about what's coming up, and Steph Curry is hopefully going to be back. All right, we'll address that, what it means for the team, when we come back on Dubs Talk Live.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by Fit Aid Clean Energy and Sports Recovery, the energy drink for athletes. Fit Aid Energy is naturally sweetened with only 15 calories, no sucralose, no aspartame, and no compromises.
Hey everybody, F Camp says this might be the best Klay I've seen yet. It's definitely an evolved Klay, which is really fun. Major's asking, how many games do you think the Warriors will win on this upcoming road trip? It's a 3-game road trip, so maybe I would take a bigger swing at a guess if it was a little longer. But I am excited that they're playing the Lakers without LeBron, although the Lakers have been improved. I just think if they get that one, it could determine how the rest of the road trip goes.
Oh, big time. I
Yeah.
mean, the Lakers have kind of had their number. You know, I mean, this is a completely new Lakers team. We know what Anthony Davis, with his size and skill, can do against the Warriors that he has in the past, but completely new Lakers team compared to before the trade deadline, obviously, right? I mean, it's night and day, you know, so they do have some impressive reinforcements, but starting off strong on the road, as you said, can really kind of set a tone going forward before that OKC game, and then, of course, before that Memphis game.
Whew, the Memphis game. Also, a few fans are asking, where is Lester Quinones? Because he got called up. He's on a 10-day contract. He played in the G League last night. He was on the bench just in case for this one. But I'm not sure how they're going to use Lester. I feel like he's just an insurance policy, and he buys more time for Anthony Lamb and Ty Jerome. So they can play more games, but to be determined for Lester.
Yeah, so he definitely does help Ty Jerome and Anthony Lamb. Lester's going to play with Santa Cruz here tomorrow because they play, I believe, a 12:30 game at Chase Center, and then he's going to fly to LA and be with the team again. So giving him that 10-day, number one, is a big-time reward for someone that they do possibly see a long-term future with.
Okay.
You know, I mean, he's been tearing up in the G League. He scored 32 points Santa Cruz's last game. So we don't know if he's going to get
Welcome back to Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by Fit Aid. All right, we've been talking about how the defense has to travel. Let's look at what is coming up for the Warriors. They are 7-23 on the road. They have a 3-game homestand. It's the Lakers, the Thunder, and the Grizzlies. Do we have a look at the calendar? I think I just said it, but just to visualize what's coming up for the Warriors. That Grizzlies game, interesting. Dylan the Villain. I don't know if you saw that story on ESPN. It kind of explains what makes Dylan Brooks tick. Did you read it?
Yeah, I read it a little bit.
Yeah. No, it's a long profile on a guy that a lot of people love to hate, especially Warriors fans. It's in my Twitter. If you'd like to read that, that's going to be kind of interesting. Let's avoid that for now. How about Steph's return, which will likely be on Sunday? You are likely going to see that. He'll be in LA. And the question I have is, how will Steph's return impact Jordan Poole? If Wiggins is still out with a personal issue, will Poole stay in the starting lineup? Are the Warriors going to go small? There's some decisions to make here.
Yeah, I would expect them to go small, and the reason why is because I think Dante DiVincenzo is one of those guys where if he starts or comes off the bench, it doesn't matter. He's so versatile, he can kind of fit any piece, and that's why I think Steve Kerr can kind of trust that. Right now, I think that'd be good for Jordan to stay in the starting lineup and roll with that and roll with trying to get out and transition and get points right away in the first quarter, because they have to stop digging holes in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And you would hope on the road that they can finally, they have not led after the first quarter since in like early mid-February. It's been 8 straight games where they have not had the lead after the first quarter.
That sounds like something you've looked up lately. This is why Dalton is a fantastic writer. Yes. As far as Poole, it would be interesting to me, because the bench has been playing so well, maybe you don't have to have that conversation with Jordan, like we need you to be the 6th man because we need your scoring. So it'll be interesting to see what the Warriors do against a taller team. Anthony Davis is a large individual.
He's a little bit taller than Jordan Poole.
He's a little bit taller. Okay, all right, so the vibes are good. The Warriors have won 5 straight. They're going to roll into LA as of now, 5th in the West, 14-12 without Steph Curry, and he's coming back. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is Dubs Talk. Lamar says, Stephen is coming. Yes, let's go back to that. The Warriors this season are 14-12 without Steph.
That's pretty amazing,
That's
honestly.
better than staying afloat.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're what now? Was it 7-4 since he's been out with this last one?
Off the top of
Something
my
like
head, I can't
that.
recall. But a 5-game win streak definitely helps.
To be even at 500, is the goal, right? I mean, like when he's off the court, when he is healthy, it's like, okay, just stay afloat. Like, don't get below. Like, even if we're not like above, it's okay. For them to be 500 is a win right there without him. 2 games over 500 for the season without him, like that. Again, we talk about why this win streak feels a little bit different, and I think just kind of the collection of that. Okay, they've shown that they could be even more than afloat without him. They're going to get him back soon. 5th place, that's just up. Instead of kind of this roller coaster of the season it's been.
Yeah, and we don't know if Steph's going to come back to a minutes restriction. What I like for Steph is that he gets to come back in a healthy situation. He doesn't have to get dropped in, feel like he has to be the savior to pull the team up in a higher place in the standings. He gets to come back in a rather comfortable place where the team was clicking without him, and now he can drop in and be impactful.
Well, when you see that Clay's having these kind of stretches that he's had, that Jordan can have the kind of scoring game that he had last game, but still put together impactful wins like he had tonight, that Jonathan Kuminga can put up 19 like he did tonight with a little, I don't want to say with ease, but kind of.
Yeah, it's looking
because
that
it's
way,
not
sure.
like it's crazy shots. It's using that athleticism, as you alluded to earlier, and getting to the basket, right? So he does not have to be the savior right now. Is he going to help?
Sure.
Yes.
He's one of the best players in the league.
Yeah,
Gonna help his team. Yes.
But he does not need to put that cape on.
That's exactly right.
And that should be the Warriors' goal, Steve Kerr's goal, everyone, that, hey, we don't have to be like Steph, save us. It should be, hey, we have Steph. Confidence meter should be even higher, but let's not just go, please 30, save our season right now.
Right. It's a welcome back, buddy. Join us. All right. Join us on Sunday. We will do Dubstock Live. Of course, we'll do Dubstock the podcast as well. Pretty big deal when Steph Curry comes back. Thanks for watching us. We'll talk to you soon.